Ever feel like your resume is shouting into the void? Well, today, we're turning up the volume. Welcome to this Career Royale Resume Roast session. This session is sponsored by Career Royale, an AI-powered career community platform. I'm Carrie, your friendly neighborhood career advocate, here to champion the underdog.
And I'm Roy, Director of Reality. I cut through the fluff to see if this resume can actually land the job. Let's get real, Carrie.
All right, Roy, always a pleasure. Today we're putting Jamie Anderson, a product manager, under the microscope. Let's see if their resume is ready for the big leagues.
Product manager, eh? Internal systems and operations, specifically. Okay, let's dive in. First impression, a bit dense. Lots of text crammed in there.
Right, it's definitely packed. Jamie's aiming for impact, which I appreciate, but maybe a little too much at once. The summary mentions curiosity-driven craft. Bit abstract, isn't it?
Abstract is an understatement. Simplifying complexity? Every PM says that. What specific complexity did they simplify, and how? Where's the data?
Okay, fair point. But they do mention expertise in API-first design, CRM optimization with HubSpot, and automated logistics workflows. Those are solid keywords, right?
They are, but it's a laundry list. The summary needs to show, not just tell. And navigating uncertainty? Again, buzzword bingo. What's a quantifiable outcome they achieved?
Good point. Looking at the job description, Viral Cash wants someone who asks, what if, and how might we? Does the resume reflect that inquisitive spirit?
Not really. It's more of a declaration of skills than a demonstration of curiosity. And they want someone who'd rather test an idea quickly than spend months perfecting a plan. Where's the evidence of that fail-fast mentality, Carrie?
I see the fail-fast experimentation listed under core competencies, but it's not elaborated on in the experience section. Missed opportunity.
Exactly. They need to connect those competencies to actual results. And this role requires travel to European and international locations. Does Jamie's resume hint at any international experience beyond a previous role in Nigeria?
That's a great catch, Roy. It's not explicitly stated. They have that technology manager role in Lagos, Nigeria, but it was quite a while ago. Maybe they should emphasize their adaptation and global perspective more.
Adaptation is key. The JD also mentions building relationships with stakeholders. Where's the evidence of strong stakeholder management skills?
Well, under agile leadership, they mention stakeholder orchestration. But again, it's just a phrase. They need to showcase how they actually orchestrated stakeholders to achieve a specific outcome.
Precisely. And translate business needs into well-defined solutions is a core requirement. How well does the resume demonstrate that ability?
I think the Storm Inc. experience touches on that. They spearheaded the evolution of telco user journeys, lifting CSAT by 9 points through the translation of ambiguous business requirements into well-formed, testable user stories. That's pretty solid.
Okay, that's a good start. But ambiguous business requirements is vague. What specific ambiguity did they clarify? Give me details, Carrie.
All right, you're relentless. How about the Cove Technology Ventures experience? Boosted system containment to 40% by facilitating focus groups with frontline staff to identify operational bottlenecks. That shows initiative and problem solving.
It does, but system containment is jargony. What does that actually mean in plain English? And the JD asks for someone data-focused. Are the metrics used here compelling enough?
40% boost is decent, but could be stronger. Maybe they had other metrics to highlight there. They also mentioned validating product hypotheses through data-driven insights, reducing call handling time by 25%. That's a strong quantifiable result.
Agreed. The data points are scattered. They need to be more consistent and impactful. And what about experience with logistics applications and operational tools, as the JD requires?
They list logistics and supply chain tools under core competencies, but again, no specifics. They could mention specific tools they've used, like specific WMS or TMS platforms. That would make a big difference.
Huge difference. And third-party integrations is another key phrase in the JD. Does the resume adequately address that?
The Blue Legal experience mentions harmonized complex legal data streams via API-first integrations. That's relevant, but could be more detailed. Which specific integrations did they use? What was the business impact of harmonizing those data streams?
Exactly. It's all about the details. And the JD emphasizes a test and learn culture. How does Jamie demonstrate that they champion that mindset?
The Axel Productions experience mentions deep dive user research and feedback loops to identify core pain points, informing roadmap pivots, and reducing user support requests by 40%. That shows a commitment to iterative improvement.
That's good, but it's one example. They need to weave that test and learn narrative throughout the resume. Make it a core theme, Carrie.
Okay, I'm sensing a theme here. More specifics, more data, more test and learn. What about the key project section? Does that add anything?
It's a good section, but it's still too high level. Achieving 89% accuracy and 80% revenue growth for the CX platform is impressive. But what were the specific actions that led to those results?
Right, they need to break down the how. And the legal help project mentions a 62% cost reduction. That's a huge number. They should definitely highlight that more prominently.
Absolutely. That's a headline-worthy achievement. And finally, let's talk about the tech section. Is it relevant to the job description?
Jira, Confluence, Azure DevOps, Miro, Figma, all standard PM tools. REST APIs, microservices, AWS, GCP, SQL, solid technical foundation. But they should tailor it even more to the specific tech stack used at Viral Cache, if they can find that information.
Tailoring is key. And the certifications? PSPO 1 and 2, PSM 1 and 2, Safe 6 SM, a bit much, honestly. It looks like they're collecting badges rather than demonstrating true expertise.
I agree. Maybe focus on the most relevant one or two and highlight how they've applied those certifications in their work. Less is more in this case.
Precisely. Overall, this resume has potential, but it needs a serious overhaul to truly match the job description. It needs to be less generic and more specific, less telling and more showing.
Okay, Roy, the verdict, please. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being Royale ready, where does Jamie stand?
I'm going to have to give it a 5. It's got some good bones, but it needs a lot of work to be truly competitive. The wins are the quantifiable results and the relevant keywords. The risks are the lack of specifics, the generic language, and the overwhelming amount of information.
Ouch, a 5. All right, Jamie, don't despair. We have a recovery plan to get you back on track. First, quantify everything. Add specific numbers and data points to back up your claims.
Second, tailor the resume to the specific job description. Highlight the skills and experiences that are most relevant to Viral Cache's needs. Cut the fluff.
Third, showcase your test and learn mindset. Provide concrete examples of how you've experimented, learned from failures, and iterated to improve your products.
And fourth, simplify the layout. Use white space to make the resume more readable and visually appealing. A recruiter should be able to quickly scan and find the key information.
Exactly. With these changes, Jamie can transform their resume from a good start to a true Career Royale contender. If you enjoyed this session, head over to CareerRoyale.com and sign up to get your resume roast feedback.